Close your eyes. Imagine, if you will, the soft rhythmic clip-clop of a horse-drawn carriage fading into the distance on a cobblestone street. The fog of Victorian London curls around the edges of a towering red-brick mansion, its windows glowing like amber jewels against the velvet darkness of the night. You are standing before the heavy oak door of a home that holds secrets deeper than the foundations upon which it stands. As we step inside, the world of modern noise, bright screens and relentless motion dissolves. We are entering a sanctuary of history, a place where time slows down to the pace of a ticking grandfather clock. Have you ever wondered what truly happens behind the damask curtains of a grand Victorian estate? Beyond the polished silver, the silk-lined parlours and the echoing marble foyers, there lies another world, a labyrinth of concealed architecture designed to keep the gears of high society turning, unseen and unheard. Tonight we are not merely observers, we are wanderers in a space where the boundaries of the public and the private were drawn with absolute, uncompromising precision. Beneath the floorboards of the drawing rooms, behind the ornate wainscoting of the library, and tucked away in the narrow winding service corridors, there is a pulse, the heartbeat of a household that never truly slept. You're invited to walk these corridors with me, to breathe in the faint scent of beeswax and old paper, and to let the weight of the day lift from your shoulders as we explore the hidden anatomy of a Victorian home. The grand houses of the 19th century were not just dwellings, they were intricate machines of status and order to the guest, they were showcases of beauty, to the residents they were complex puzzles of necessity. Let us step quietly now past the velvet-draped entrance and begin our descent into the quiet shadows of the past. The channel Sleepy History with Benedict is a storytelling platform created for entertainment, inspiration, education, and the promotion of positive emotional values. As you transition from the grand entryway into the heart of the mansion, take note of the intentional architecture surrounding you. The Victorian mind was obsessed with order, and nowhere was this more apparent than in the deliberate separation of the inhabitants. You see, a Victorian home was effectively two houses occupying the same physical space, separated not by walls of stone, but by a rigid, unspoken social architecture. Notice the staircase before you. It is sweeping, wide, and carpeted in rich, deep crimson wool. This was the stage for the family and their esteemed guests, designed to showcase grace and stature. But turn your gaze just a few feet to the left, towards that narrow, unassuming door tucked discreetly into the shadows of the wall. That is the artery of the house. That, my friend, is the servants' staircase. Unlike the grand staircase, these hidden passages were steep, narrow, and deliberately sparse. They were designed for speed, not for show. Imagine the footmen, the housemaids, and the errand boys navigating these steps in the dim glow of a single tallow candle, carrying heavy trays of hot water or polished silver, their footsteps muffled by thick felt to ensure not a single sound reached the ears of the masters above. These corridors were the veins of the house, yet they were built to be invisible. They snaked behind the walls of the dining room and the library, allowing the domestic machinery to run with a terrifying silent efficiency. As you stand here, in the quiet transition between the warmth of the parlour and the chill of the service passage, you can almost feel the hush that governed this home. The house was designed to look effortless, as if the tea simply appeared, the laundry vanished and the coal was replenished by magic. But we know the truth. We know that the beauty of the Victorian era was maintained by the tireless rhythmic movement of people through these very shadows. Close your eyes again. Listen to the silence of the house. Can you hear the faint phantom sound of a floorboard creaking in the hallway behind you? It is not a ghost, but a reminder of the thousands of silent passages made by those who lived and worked in the hidden corners of these grand structures. The house is breathing, expanding and contracting with the rhythm of the centuries, keeping its secrets locked deep within its timber and mortar. We continue our journey downward, away from the soft flickering gas lamps of the ground floor, descending into the cool stone-floored depths of the lower level. Here the temperature drops, and the air carries the faint nostalgic scent of damp earth, coal dust, and the lingering aroma of dried herbs. This is the realm of the kitchen, the scullery, and the larder, the true engine room of the Victorian mansion. In these spaces the aesthetic of the house shifted entirely. The intricate wallpaper and gilded mouldings of the upper floors gave way to whitewashed brick and heavy utilitarian flagstone. It was a place of ceaseless labour, yet there was a peculiar quiet dignity to the work performed here. Picture the massive cast-iron range, a hulking monument of blackened metal that stretched across the wall, radiating a steady, comforting warmth that defied the subterranean chill. Nearby the scullery offered its own rhythm. Here the heavy copper pots were scrubbed until they gleamed like gold under the weak light of a wall-mounted lamp. The rhythm of life in the basement was dictated by the rising of the sun and the demanding schedule of the household above. It was here that the day began, long before the masters of the house opened their eyes. It was here that the first kettle was boiled and the first fire was stoked, ensuring that the transition from sleep to morning would be entirely smooth for those sleeping on the floors above. Everything was organised with meticulous care. The larder, with its stone shelves and wire mesh covers, kept perishables cool in the age before electric refrigeration. You might notice the series of pull bells mounted high on the wall, a complex web of brass wires and porcelain handles that connected every corner of the vast house to this central station. A gentle tug in the drawing room would cause a corresponding bell to chime here, a discreet signal that a request had been made. It is easy to imagine the quiet camaraderie that developed in these hidden spaces. Away from the watchful eyes of the masters, the staff found moments of respite, a whispered conversation over a cup of tea, a brief moment to rest their feet on the stool near the coal scuttle. These stories, though rarely recorded in the annals of history, were the true fabric of the household's life. As you stand in the stillness of this kitchen, feel the weight of the history surrounding you. The walls have absorbed the laughter, the fatigue, the hushed gossip, and the dedicated service of those who kept the world above in motion. The silence here is not empty. It is full of echoes waiting to be felt as you drift further into your own quiet relaxation. We ascend once more, leaving the cool, stone-laden atmosphere of the lower levels behind, and return to the refined warmth of the upper floors. As we navigate the quiet landing, we encounter the doors that define the private boundaries of the Victorian home. These rooms, the libraries, the studies, the smoking rooms, and the morning parlours, were not merely decorative. They were the physical manifestation of a society that placed an extraordinary premium on privacy, etiquette, and the distinct separation of activities. Each room served a specific, prescribed purpose. The library, lined with floor-to-ceiling mahogany bookshelves, was a sanctuary of silence and contemplation. Here the air holds the scent of old leather bindings and fading ink. It was a space for the master of the house to manage his correspondence, to read the morning papers, and to engage in intellectual pursuits safely tucked away from the social demands of the day. Similarly, the smoking room offered a masculine retreat, an intimate space designed for conversation and relaxation, often featuring heavy velvet curtains and comfortable, deep-seated leather armchairs that seemed to invite you to rest your weary head. In contrast, the morning parlour was often the domain of the ladies of the house. These rooms were filled with light, designed to be bright and airy, serving as a setting for morning correspondence, embroidery, or informal social calls. Note the deliberate use of heavy door curtains or portières, intended to muffle sound and maintain the absolute privacy of the conversations occurring within. Even the dressing rooms tucked behind the master bedrooms were marvels of efficiency. They were spaces for the rituals of the Victorian morning, the careful selection of attire, the meticulous grooming, and the preparation for the day's obligations. Everything was partitioned. There was a time for social display and a time for private retreat. The walls were thick, the doors heavy, and the atmosphere hushed. It was an environment designed to insulate the family from the chaos of the outside world, creating a cocoon of order and propriety. As you visualize these rooms, let your own mind become as orderly and quiet as these elegant chambers. Feel the stillness settle into the corners of your imagination. Here, in the heart of the home, there is only peace, only the soft shadows of history, and the gentle promise of a calm and restful night. All stories on this channel, Sleepy History with Benedict, are fictional, thoughtfully crafted around historical themes and inspired by real events, figures, and periods, reimagined for engaging storytelling. The content does not represent real individuals, actual events, or documented cases. Any resemblance to real people, animals, or events is purely coincidental. As the sun sets and the long Victorian shadows stretch across the drawing room floor, our attention turns to those who made this effortless elegance possible. The daily life inside these grand houses was a delicate, intricate ballet of service. Maids, footmen, governesses, and butlers were the silent guardians of the family's peace. They moved through the hidden passageways, those same arteries of the house we discovered earlier, like ghosts in the machinery of wealth. Imagine the sheer dedication required to maintain a home of this scale. A footman might polish the heavy silver plate until it gleamed, a task repeated day after day with unwavering precision. A housemaid would rise well before the light touched the horizon to light the morning fires, ensuring that the masters of the house would never experience the biting chill of a winter morning. They carried heavy coal buckets, jugs of steaming hot water, and endless stacks of linens through narrow dark corridors, always with the goal of remaining unseen. Their lives were defined by the rhythm of bells and the strict hierarchy of duties, a world contained entirely within the walls of the mansion. There was a profound, quiet beauty in this service, a testament to the structure of an era where every person held a place and a purpose. They lived in small attic rooms or basement quarters, often huddled close for warmth, listening to the soft, muffled sounds of the family life continuing just beyond the walls. It is a reminder of the layers of history that exist in any home, the unseen hands that shape the comfort we often take for granted. As you reflect on these hidden figures, allow their quiet dedication to lull you into a deeper state of relaxation. The house is warm, the hallways are still, and the work of the day is long since finished. If this peaceful exploration of history helps you unwind and drift towards sleep, please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to join our community. Your support allows us to continue bringing these gentle historical stories to your evening ritual. Beyond the social order and the tireless work of the staff, the Victorian home was a marvel of 19th century engineering. As you wander through these quiet halls, look closely at the walls and the window frames. They were not merely wood and brick, they were designed to be resilient, insulated, and above all comfortable. During this era, as the industrial world outside roared with new inventions, the wealthy sought to bring that progress inside, albeit in the most discreet way possible. Consider the fireplaces, the literal and metaphorical heart of the home. In every room, from the grand salon to the smallest bedroom, an ornate marble or cast iron hearth provided more than just light. It provided warmth against the damp, biting English winters. These fireplaces were connected by elaborate chimneys that snaked up through the walls, a hidden network of brick and stone designed to pull smoke away from the living areas and keep the air within the rooms clean and breathable. Then there were the windows with heavy plush curtains often layered in sets, lace for privacy during the day and thick velvet drapes for insulation at night. These grand houses could be sealed against the elements. When the curtains were drawn tight, the room became a cocoon, entirely removed from the outside world. This sense of enclosure, of being held in a safe, warm space while the wind howled outside, was the ultimate luxury. Even the lighting was a complex evolution. We might imagine candles, but by the mid to late Victorian era, gaslight had begun to flow through the walls like water. These small flickering flames, protected by frosted glass globes, provided a steady amber glow that softened the sharp edges of the furniture and created a sense of calm that is almost impossible to replicate today. Every detail, from the pull cords of the heavy velvet blinds to the polished brass of the ventilation grates that allowed just enough fresh air to circulate without creating a draught, was calculated for comfort. As you imagine yourself in one of these rooms, nestled in a chair by a fireplace that crackles with a soft, steady heat, feel the quiet stability of the architecture. The thick walls hold the temperature constant. The heavy carpets dampen every sound from the floor above, and the house feels like a solid, unchanging fortress of tranquility. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to do. The house is keeping you safe, keeping you warm, and keeping you peaceful as you drift closer to sleep. Let us drift now into the formal drawing room, a space where time seems to have been captured in amber. The air here is still filled with the faint, comforting scent of beeswax polish and dried rose petals. Victorian interiors were defined by a certain abundance, a love for texture and warmth that transformed large, high-ceilinged rooms into personal sanctuaries. Observe the furniture, heavy, dark mahogany and walnut pieces, their surfaces polished to a mirror finish. There is a sense of permanence here. A chaise longue upholstered in deep, emerald green silk invites you to rest. A writing desk with curved, intricate legs stands near the window, waiting for the scratching of a quill that has long since been silenced by time. The floors are covered with thick, patterned carpets, Persian or Brussels weaves that absorb the sound of every footstep, wrapping the room in a heavy velvet-like silence. In these spaces, the Victorians expressed their desire for order and beauty. Every object had its place: a collection of porcelain figurines on the mantelpiece, a stack of leather-bound volumes on the side table, a delicately beaded footstool. There was no clutter, only a careful arrangement of belongings that spoke of a life lived with intention. The light, filtering through the heavy drapes, casts long, soft shadows that dance slowly across the wallpaper. As you settle into this atmosphere, notice how the very design of the room encourages a slowing of the heart rate. The high ceilings provide a sense of openness, while the dark wood and plush fabrics provide a sense of being held, cradled by the history of the house. There is a profound sense of solitude here, a quiet that is not lonely, but restorative. It is the silence of an old library after the last guest has departed, or the hush of a parlour in the late afternoon when the house is finally at rest. Imagine yourself sitting in the centre of this room. The world outside is vast and chaotic, but in here everything is manageable, everything is quiet. The fire in the hearth is merely a slow-burning ember now glowing with a soft, steady pulse. The house itself is like a gentle protective shell, shielding you from the demands of the world. With every slow, steady breath you are sinking deeper into the soft cushions, letting the history of these walls become the backdrop for your own restful night. You are safe, you are comfortable. You are drifting into the quietude of a time that knew how to be still. As the evening light deepens into a soft indigo twilight, we find ourselves moving toward the most sacred of all spaces, the master bedrooms. These chambers were designed with one primary purpose in mind: the absolute restoration of the soul. In a Victorian home, the bedroom was a sanctuary, a quiet retreat from the social pressures and complexities of the world outside. Picture, if you can, the vast four-poster bed standing as the centerpiece of the room. It is draped in heavy damask curtains that block out the slightest draught and provide a sense of total seclusion. The sheets are of crisp, cool linen, and the blankets are thick, soft wool, providing a weight that feels like a gentle, protective embrace. Here, the air is even quieter than below. The bustle of the kitchen, the chime of the clocks, and the hushed voices of the service corridors feel light years away. There is a ritual to this time of night. In the 19th century, the evening was a time for reflection, a time to wind down from the rigid structures of the day. A housemaid might have quietly entered hours before, ensuring the fireplace was stoked, the curtains drawn, and a fresh carafe of water placed on the bedside table. Every detail was attended to, allowing the inhabitant to let go of their responsibilities entirely. As we linger here in the softness of the shadows, feel your own eyelids growing heavy. The house is settling into the night, the timbers cooling as they contract in the darkness, and the silence is absolute. It is the perfect moment to release your thoughts, just as the Victorians released the concerns of their busy days. If you're finding yourself drifting into a state of calm, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Tapping the bell ensures you won't miss our future journeys into the quiet historical corners of the past. Your presence here, in these silent halls, is truly appreciated, and I hope this story serves as a gentle bridge to your deepest sleep. Even in the most private corners of the home, the Victorian commitment to order and comfort remained unwavering. Let us step for a moment into the dressing room, where a heavy screen masks the transition to the washstand and the grand porcelain bathtub. In the 19th century, the bathroom was not merely a utility, it was a testament to the household's ability to master nature itself, to have running water, to have steam that could be piped to the upper floors. This was a luxury of the highest order. Imagine the sound of water being poured from a copper pitcher into a basin, a soft melodic splashing that echoes gently against the tiled walls. The scent of lavender soap and clean linen fills the air, creating a sensory experience that is both simple and deeply grounding. These spaces were often decorated with delicate floral tiles or cool marble, providing a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the heavy velvet-draped living areas. There is a particular kind of peace found in the sound of water. Think of the rhythmic ticking of a clock paired with the gentle splash of water, a combination that has echoed through the centuries in homes just like this one. It is a sound that signals the end of exertion, the cleansing of the day's worries and the preparation for rest. In these rooms, the world truly falls away. The complexities of social hierarchy, the demands of the estate management, and the pressures of public life are left outside the door. Here, there is only the warmth of the water, the softness of the towels, and the quiet, slow passage of time. As you visualize this tranquil space, let the sounds of the past wash over you. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders, drifting away like mist in the morning. The house is quiet now, the shadows have deepened, and the entire estate has entered a state of profound, undisturbed stillness. You are breathing with the rhythm of the house, slow and steady as the night embraces you in its velvet arms. Beyond the heavy stone walls and the thick glass of the windows, the Victorian estate extended into the quiet realm of the garden. Even at night, when the rest of the world seems to sleep, these gardens hold a unique, hushed beauty. Picture yourself looking out from a French door, out onto a lawn that silver moonlight has transformed into a sea of soft grey velvet. The Victorian garden was an extension of the home's desire for order, yet it was also a place where nature was invited to be a partner. Think of the winding gravel paths, the dark silhouettes of yew hedges clipped into perfect shapes, and the statues that stand like silent sentinels in the night. The scent of night-blooming jasmine or damp earth rises to meet you, a cool, refreshing contrast to the warm, candle-lit interiors we have just left behind. Listen closely. In the silence of the night, you might hear the soft, rhythmic rustle of leaves as a gentle breeze drifts through the ancient oaks. Perhaps there is the distant haunting call of an owl or the steady hypnotic chirping of crickets hidden within the ivy. It is a world of gentle movement and whispered secrets, a natural counterpart to the quiet life inside the house. There is a profound connection here. The house is not an island, but a participant in the landscape, anchored by stone and wood, reaching out to the stars. Standing here, you can feel the vastness of the night, a calming reminder that we are part of something much larger and much older than our own daily worries. The stillness of the garden is contagious. It invites you to breathe deeper, to release the day's lingering thoughts, and to simply exist in this moment of perfect, balanced peace. If this journey through the shadowed corridors and moonlit gardens has helped you settle into a state of tranquility, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Your continued support helps Sleepy History with Benedict grow, allowing us to curate more of these gentle, restorative escapes for your evening routine. We are honoured to be part of your path to peaceful sleep. We ascend the final narrow set of stairs, the ones tucked behind the master bedrooms, up into the quiet, forgotten realms of the attic. Here the architecture changes once more. The ceilings slope gently with the pitch of the roof, and the air is dry, smelling faintly of cedar and aged paper. This is the attic, the storehouse of the house's memory. Everything that had served its purpose and was no longer needed found its way here. Trunks bound in leather and brass sit in orderly rows, holding the clothes of a different season or forgotten letters tied with fading silk ribbons. There is an incredible stillness in this space. While the world below was defined by the busy rhythm of social life and domestic duty, the attic is defined by the rhythm of time itself. It is a place where history sits in repose, waiting to be remembered. Imagine the soft, muted sound of moonlight filtering through a small circular gable window, casting long, pale beams across the dusty floorboards. There is a sense of immense peace in this solitude. Up here, under the heavy rafters, you are closer to the night sky than anywhere else in the house. The world is reduced to the sound of your own steady breathing and the gentle settling creaks of the house as it rests in the cool night air. In these quiet, elevated spaces, it is easy to let go of the present. The attic is a place of introspection, a place where the ego dissolves into the vast, silent collection of the past. As you visualize these rows of covered furniture and wooden crates, let your mind become just as quiet. Let your thoughts drift, like dust motes dancing in a beam of moonlight, until they simply fade away into the deep, welcoming shadows. You are resting now, held by the same history that holds these walls. This content is inspired by and adapted from public domain works available through Project Gutenberg. The material has been transformed through original narration, editing, and storytelling to create a unique experience for educational and entertainment purposes. We find ourselves back on the ground floor, standing in the grand vestibule. The heavy double doors are bolted shut, sealing the household against the cool night air outside. The atmosphere here is different at this hour. It is the silence of anticipation, the pause between the end of one day and the beginning of the next. Beneath our feet, the black and white checkered marble tiles seem to glow with a faint, reflected sheen from the singular muted lamp hanging from the vaulted ceiling. This was the first space any visitor encountered, the threshold of the home's identity, but now it is entirely ours. The grand coat rack, standing tall and proud in the corner, is bare, its hooks waiting for the bustling coats and umbrellas of tomorrow morning. In this quiet transition space, you can feel the stability of the entire structure. The house feels solid, grounded in the earth, and utterly unshakable. It is a sentinel against the darkness, a warm, protective vessel for all the stories tucked within its walls. As you stand here, let your focus widen. Think of the house as a whole, the kitchens deep in the cellar, the bustling servant passages behind the walls, the elegant drawing rooms filled with history, and the quiet, darkened bedrooms above. Everything is in its place. The house is a masterpiece of balance and order, and that order is now mirroring itself within you. As you breathe in, the house feels expansive and welcoming. As you breathe out, you feel yourself becoming part of the stillness. The silence here is not just an absence of sound, it is a presence, a comforting blanket of calm that wraps around you. Let your mind linger in this beautiful, grand entryway. Feel the coolness of the marble, the heavy oak of the doors, and the serene, unchanging nature of the Victorian architecture. You are safe within these walls, anchored in a history that knows only rest. Let us slowly move back toward the grand staircase, the heart of the mansion's architecture. By day, this staircase was a focal point of social activity, but by night it transforms into a sculpture of shadow and light. Run your hand, if you will, along the banister. Feel the smooth, dark mahogany polished by generations of hands. It is cool to the touch, solid and grounding. The craftsmanship here is a testament to an era that celebrated detail above all else. The newel posts at the base of the stairs are intricately carved, perhaps with a floral motif or a geometric pattern that suggests both elegance and strength. As you look up, the staircase winds upward, disappearing into the darkness of the upper landing. It is a graceful curve, a slow and deliberate ascent that invites you to leave the concerns of the ground floor behind and move toward deeper peace. The shadows cast by the balusters create a rhythmic pattern across the wall like musical notes on a staff. This repetition is deeply soothing. It draws the eye and encourages a steady, slow focus. Each step you take, or imagine taking, is quiet. The thick carpet on the stairs muffles every movement, turning your ascent into a silent drifting. There is a profound sense of continuity here. You are walking in the footsteps of those who lived here over a century ago, sharing the same quiet moments of retreat at the end of a long day. The house itself seems to sigh in the dark, a gentle settling of timber and stone that echoes your own desire for rest. Everything is calm. The house is not merely a structure. It is a companion, holding space for your dreams and ensuring that nothing from the outside world can disturb the serenity you have cultivated. With each breath, the details of the carvings, the scent of the wood, and the weight of the silence become more pronounced, pulling you further into the gentle, quiet night. We step quietly into the dining room, a space that serves as a monument to the Victorian social ritual. Even now in the late hours, the room retains an air of structured elegance. The massive dark oak table stretches across the centre of the room like a silent river, its surface polished to such a high degree that it captures the faint flickering reflection of a stray beam of moonlight from the high windows. This room was once the stage for lively conversations, the clinking of fine crystal, and the soft hum of social exchange. But tonight it is entirely still. The chairs are tucked neatly beneath the table, arranged with a precision that mirrors the orderly mind of the household. A silver candelabra, extinguished and cool, stands as a centerpiece, its ornate branches holding memories of dinners long past. The sideboard, with its collection of heavy porcelain and silver serving dishes, is shrouded in the soft darkness, a silent guardian of the hospitality that once defined this space. As you stand in the center of this quiet room, imagine the gentle weight of tradition that resides here. This was a place where relationships were nurtured, where alliances were formed, and where the household would come together at the end of the day to share the events of their lives. But now the silence is heavy and comforting, a velvet wrap that insulates you from the world. There is something deeply restorative about a space that has fulfilled its duty for the day. The energy here is spent, settled, and utterly calm. It invites you to stop seeking, to stop processing, and to simply be present. Let the stillness of the room wash over you. There is no need for conversation, no need for action. Just as this room has been prepared for the night, so too are you preparing yourself for the stillness of sleep. The dark wood, the heavy curtains, the soft, muffled quiet, everything is in harmony. You are drifting into a space of perfect, undisturbed peace, where the memory of the house's grand rituals serves only to remind you that you too deserve a time of total quiet rest. As we complete our quiet passage through this grand Victorian home, take a moment to look back at the journey we have shared. We have wandered through the hidden arteries of the servant passages, warmed ourselves by the hearths of the lower levels, contemplated the stillness of the private libraries, and rested in the shadows of the master bedrooms. We have explored the architecture of a bygone era, not just as structures of brick and mortar, but as vessels of history, peace, and order. Every room we have visited, every corridor we have walked, has been a testament to the Victorian dedication to creating a home that was a world unto itself. These spaces were designed to insulate, to protect, and to provide a sanctuary from the relentless pace of the outside world. And tonight, those same walls have served to protect you. They have held the silence for you. They have cradled you in their history. Feel the floor beneath you, solid and unchanging. Feel the air around you, still and cool, carrying the faint, comforting scent of beeswax and old wood. There is a profound sense of completeness here. All the doors are closed, all the candles are extinguished, and the entire house is breathing with you, slowly, rhythmically, in the deepening dark. The complexity of the daytime, the bells, the chores, the social expectations has all dissolved. What remains is only this, the quiet, the darkness, and the promise of rest. You have walked through the secret spaces of the rich and the humble alike, and in doing so you have allowed your own mind to mirror the stillness of these grand rooms. You are not just observing history, you are resting within it. As the night deepens, let the weight of your body sink further into the softness beneath you. There is nothing left to explore, nothing left to do. The house is keeping watch, silent and steadfast, ensuring that your night is peaceful. Your mind is a quiet hall, empty of all thoughts, illuminated only by the soft, distant glow of a memory that is fading into sleep. The rhythm of the house, the slow settling of beams, the cooling of the stone is the rhythm of your own heart, calming, slowing, and finally drifting into a sea of absolute serenity. Now let us turn our attention to a space we have passed by in our earlier wanderings, the long hushed picture gallery. This corridor, spanning the length of the upper floor, is perhaps the quietest place in the entire mansion. As you walk, or rather as you float, down this long expanse, the floorboards beneath your feet are covered by a runner of deep, Persian-style carpet that swallows every sound, creating an atmosphere of absolute, reverent silence. Along the walls, hung in an unbroken line, are the portraits of those who lived here throughout the decades. Large, ornate, gilded frames catch the faint ambient light, making the oil-painted faces seem to emerge from the darkness like memories brought to life. There is a weight of history here, a sense of generations past, who once walked these very same boards, who once shared in the life of this house, and who now exist only in the stillness of the paint and canvas. Notice how the air feels different here. It is cooler, perhaps a little thinner, as if the portraits themselves are guarding the sanctity of the corridor. The candle light from the wall sconces flickers occasionally, causing the expressions on the faces of the painted figures to shift almost imperceptibly. But there is no mystery to be feared, only a profound, grounded sense of connection. These are the guardians of the house's legacy. As you stand in the centre of this gallery, let the quietness of the portraits settle over you. Imagine their gazes as benevolent, watching over your rest with the solemnity of ancestors who know the value of a night's peace. There is no urgency in their expressions, only a steady, enduring calm that has weathered time itself. Let their stillness become your stillness. As you breathe in, feel the cool, still air of the gallery. As you breathe out, let your own presence become as quiet and as permanent as the art on the walls. The house is watching over you, keeping you within its history, protecting your transition into the deepest, most restorative sleep. You are safe among the echoes of the past, held in a space where time has no power, and only tranquility remains. We move now into the music room, a space that resonates with the phantom echoes of melodies long since faded into the stillness of the house. Here, the air feels slightly more vibrant, yet profoundly calm. In the centre of the room, draped in a light, dust-protective cover, stands the grand piano, its curved silhouette resembling a sleeping giant in the soft, moonlit gloom. The piano keys, once touched by skilled fingers to fill these halls with waltzes and nocturnes, are now silent, tucked away under the heavy floorboard, but the room itself holds the memory of that sound. Can you feel the vibration of the strings, silent yet present in the wood? There is a deep architectural peace in a room designed for expression, now given over to the absolute stillness of the night. Shelves lining the walls are filled with leather-bound sheet music, their pages yellowed with the gentle touch of the decades. The music room was a place for emotion, for social connection, and for the release of the spirit. Now it serves a different purpose. It is a place for the release of the mind, As you stand among the music stands and the velvet upholstered chairs, let the concept of harmony fill your thoughts. Think of the house as an instrument, perfectly tuned, perfectly balanced. Each room is a note, each corridor a rhythm, and the silence is the song that is currently playing. It is a slow, deep, and steady composition that welcomes you into its melody. There is no discord here, no jarring noise. Everything is in perfect key with your own breathing. Let yourself be drawn into this harmony, sink into the silence of the room. The grand piano stands sentinel in the shadows, waiting for the morning. But for now it is content to rest. Just as you are, the air here is soft, and the darkness is kind. You are becoming part of the composition, a note held in the long, peaceful bridge of a night that stretches out endlessly, offering you nothing but rest, nothing but the quiet beauty of being. Leaving the music room, we pass through a set of double glass doors into the conservatory. Here, the boundary between the house and the natural world becomes wonderfully thin. The structure is a delicate cage of wrought iron and expansive panes of glass, a Victorian architectural triumph designed to bring the beauty of the outdoors into the sanctuary of the home. Outside, the moonlight pours through the glass roof, casting intricate, lace-like shadows of leaves and ironwork across the tiled floor. The air here is different. It is richer, holding the faint earthy scent of damp potting soil, ferns, and the deep green stillness of plants that have been resting since sunset. Even in the middle of the night, the conservatory feels alive, yet it is a peaceful, slow-motion vitality. The palm fronds and the climbing ivy are perfectly still, held in the cooling breath of the night. Imagine yourself sitting on a wicker chair in this glass sanctuary. The glass above you is a lens to the cosmos. You can see the faint glimmer of stars and the soft, diffused glow of the moon. It feels as though the entire house is breathing through these glass walls, connecting the warmth of the interior to the serene, expansive night outside. There is an immense comfort in this. You are sheltered, yet you are connected to the vastness of the sky. The iron framework, solid and enduring, protects you from the elements, while the glass allows you to remain part of the tranquil landscape. Everything is balanced. The house has provided a space where nature can be enjoyed in total safety, where the complexity of the 19th century world can be tempered by the simplicity of green leaves and moonlight. As you linger in the conservatory, feel the silence of the plants. They are resting, and you are resting with them. The stillness is deep, heavy, and incredibly soft. There is no urgency in the way the moonlight moves across the floor, and there is no urgency in your own mind. You are in a place where time is measured only by the slow growth of leaves and the passing of the moon across the glass ceiling. Sink deeper into this peace. Let your eyes drift, and allow the quiet energy of the conservatory to ground you in the most beautiful, undisturbed rest. We step now into a smaller, more intimate room, often overlooked, yet essential to the character of a Victorian home, the sewing room. Here, the energy is one of quiet, meditative focus. The air feels remarkably soft, perhaps because of the remnants of velvet, silk, and wool that have spent years in this space. It is a room of textures, a room where patience was woven into the very fabric of daily life. In the corner, a mahogany frame stands ready, holding a piece of embroidery that remains unfinished, the needle still resting carefully in the cloth. Beside it, a collection of wooden spools and small silver thimbles sits within a shallow drawer, organized with the kind of precision that the Victorian era so cherished. Everything here speaks of a slow, deliberate process. There was no haste in this room, only the steady, rhythmic movement of a hand guiding a needle, stitch by rhythmic stitch. Imagine the peace that must have been cultivated here. To sit by the window in the afternoon light, lost in the delicate patterns of a tapestry, was a form of restorative practice. As we stand here now in the stillness of the night, you can almost sense that lingering calm. The room holds the memory of that focused serenity, a state of mind where the world beyond the walls was forgotten, and the only thing that mattered was the thread, the needle, and the pattern. It is a beautiful thought, isn't it? The idea that one could simply step away from the pressures of society and lose oneself in the creation of beauty as you breathe in. Imagine the faint scent of lavender tucked into the sachets of the sewing baskets. As you breathe out, let the tension of your day be untangled, just as a knot might be gently worked loose by patient fingers. The house is quiet, and this room is perhaps the quietest of all. It is a place where you are encouraged to unravel, to let go of the rigid expectations of the world, and to settle into your own soft rhythm. You are safe in this quiet sanctuary. There is nothing to prove, nothing to complete, and nothing to rush toward. The embroidery of your day is finished. The thread is cut. Now there is only the soft velvet darkness and the ease of sinking into the comfort of your own rest. We find ourselves in the morning room, a space typically bathed in the first pale gold light of dawn, but tonight it is wrapped in the silver-blue glow of the moon. This room is distinct from the heavy dark wood drawing rooms we have explored. It is airy, light, and unassuming. The wallpaper here is patterned with climbing vines in soft muted tones, and the furniture is upholstered in crisp, floral printed cotton. Even in the darkness you can sense the optimistic spirit of this room. It was here that the household gathered for the first cup of tea, where the day's plans were discussed, and where the morning sun was invited in through wide sash windows. Yet tonight it serves a different, quiet purpose. It is a bridge between the deep, restful night and the coming morning. Stand for a moment by the window, though it is dark. You can imagine the view, the dew-covered lawn, the quiet trees, the world waiting in a state of suspended animation. The morning room feels like a promise. It is the reminder that after the deepest rest there is always the light. But for now that light is far away. For now there is only the comfort of being in a space that knows how to welcome the day, and for that very reason knows how to rest completely in the dark. There is a gentle stillness here that encourages you to let go of tomorrow. We often spend our nights anticipating the coming day, worrying over schedules or tasks, but the morning room in its nighttime quiet asks you to leave those thoughts for the morning. It says, everything will be here when the sun rises, for now you are only required to be still. Feel the room wrapping around you, soft and comforting, the cool cotton fabric of the chairs, the subtle patterns on the walls, the quiet space waiting for the warmth of the future. You are anchored in this moment of peaceful transition. You are held by the house's rhythm, sliding deeper into the feeling that you have nowhere else to be and nothing else to do but breathe and let go. The house is keeping the time for you. You are truly at peace. Let us drift into a small, sequestered alcove known as the Cabinet of Curiosities. This room is a marvel of the Victorian fascination with the wide, mysterious world. Shelves of glass and dark mahogany line the walls, packed with an array of objects that have been brought home from distant travels. Delicate seashells from tropical shores, fossilized stones from mountain peaks, small wooden carvings and intricate globes of brass and glass. In the soft, moonlight-dappled darkness, these objects take on a dreamlike quality. They are not merely things, they are stories of discovery held in stasis. The light catches the curve of a porcelain jar or the glint of a silver compass, casting long, soft shadows that stretch across the room like gentle fingers. The air here is calm, filled with the scent of old wood and the faintest hint of something exotic, perhaps dried spices or cedarwood from a traveller's chest. There is a profound sense of wonder in this room. Even in the stillness of the night, it reminds us of how vast and varied the world is, and yet, here in this quiet house, all those distant places are gathered into a single peaceful sanctuary. You are at the centre of a collection of memories. Everything is orderly, everything is preserved, and everything is at rest. As you stand amidst these curiosities, let your mind become like them, a vessel for wonder, but completely still. You do not need to journey anywhere tonight. You have travelled enough. The world has come to you, gathered in this quiet room, waiting for you to simply exist alongside it. The curiosities are silent, the globes are motionless, and the brass instruments reflect only the soft light of the night. Feel the stability of these objects. They have been here for years, and they will be here tomorrow. You are anchored by this sense of permanence. There is no need to rush, no need to explore further. The silence of the cabinet of curiosities is a deep, soothing balm, pulling your focus inward, softening your breathing, and guiding you gently toward the threshold of sleep. The house is holding all these treasures for you, just as it is holding you. Everything is safe. Everything is still. We ascend once more, past the quiet bedrooms and the hushed galleries, to the very highest reach of the house, a small secluded passageway beneath the sloping roof. Here the Victorian architects placed a series of skylights, deep-set windows that offer a direct, unobstructed view into the vast expanse of the night sky. As you stand here, the atmosphere shifts. We are no longer enclosed by walls of history, but are instead standing at the edge of the infinite. The moonlight pours down through the glass, bright and clear, washing the floor in a silver glow that feels almost ethereal. Look up. There, through the cool pane of the skylight, you can see the distant, steady pulse of the stars. It is a humbling sight, one that puts all the small worries of the day into perspective. The silence in this space is different. It is deep, expansive, and incredibly light. It feels as though the roof of the house has opened to the universe, and we are merely observers, safely tucked away in our cosy, stone-built sanctuary. The wind may whistle faintly against the slates above, but it only reinforces how warm and protected you are beneath the sturdy rafters. Imagine the house as a vessel drifting through the dark ocean of the night, navigated by the stars above. You are safe in your cabin, supported by the strength of the home, yet allowed to gaze out at the vast peaceful beauty of the cosmos. The stars do not ask anything of you. The moon does not demand your time. They simply exist in their rhythmic, ancient dance, and you are invited to join them in this state of effortless being. Let the light from the skylight touch your face, cool and gentle. Let your vision soften as you look up into the endless dark. Everything is calm, everything is quiet. Your thoughts are becoming as light as the starlight, drifting further and further away, untethered from the earth, floating in the soft velvet silence of the upper reaches. You are entirely at ease, completely held, and ready to let the universe cradle you into the deepest sleep you have ever known. We drift now into the bathing room, a sanctuary of porcelain, white marble, and cool, clean lines. Even in the dim light, the room gleams, a testament to the Victorian pursuit of purity and restoration. In the centre sits the grand cast-iron bathtub, resting on ornate claw and ball feet. It is a vessel built for comfort, its high, curved back inviting a long, slow soak. The air here is crisp and still, carrying the faint, clean scent of lavender soap and warmed linens. There is something profoundly grounding about a room dedicated entirely to the act of restoration. It is here that one would shed the dust of the outside world, the weight of the day, and the lingering tension of social obligations. Imagine the sound of water, not the splashing of the day, but the slow rhythmic drip of a faucet, or the gentle settling of the floorboards under the weight of the tub. It is a quiet, meditative sound that slows your heart rate. You can almost feel the residual warmth of the room, a memory of steam and comfort that lingers even in the deepest hours of the night. The surfaces here are smooth and cool to the touch, the polished brass taps, the intricate tiles, the solid, heavy basin. Everything is designed to be steady, reliable, and calming. As you stand in this quiet space, let the concept of cleansing wash over your thoughts. Just as you might leave the worries of the day at the door of this room, you are now invited to let go of everything that no longer serves you. Release the burdens of the last 24 hours. Let them slide away like water down a drain, leaving you light, refreshed, and entirely hollowed out in the most peaceful way possible. The house is quiet, the room is still, and you are drifting into a state of total weightless relaxation. You are perfectly cared for, held by the gentle architecture of this home, and prepared for the final, sweetest stage of your journey towards sleep. We step gently through the last set of French doors, finding ourselves on the deep covered veranda that wraps around the side of the house. The air here is fresh and cool, carrying the sweet, heavy perfume of night-blooming jasmine and damp earth from the garden below. It is a space of transition, where the solid, predictable architecture of the mansion meets the vast, whispering mystery of the night landscape. The veranda is shrouded in soft shadow, protected by a wide overhanging roof supported by sturdy painted timber columns. Above, the stars seem brighter, casting a pale pearlescent glow over the lawn. You can hear the distant soothing sound of the wind moving through the willow trees, a soft rhythmic rustling that acts like a lullaby for the entire estate. There is an incredible sense of relief in standing here. You are outside, yet you are still within the embrace of the home. The wooden deck beneath your feet is smooth and cool, weathered by years of sun and rain, feeling solid and dependable. You are shielded from the vastness of the world, yet you are free to breathe in the expansive peace of the night. Think of this veranda as the final threshold. Beyond the garden fence, the world continues its turning, but here, everything has come to a complete, beautiful halt. The house is a fortress of serenity, and you are its honoured guest, tucked safely away from every concern, every task, and every noise. As you lean against the railing, feel the stillness sinking into your bones. The night is deep, the air is perfectly still, and the only thing that exists is this gentle breeze and the quiet, steady rhythm of your own heart. You have walked through the entirety of this grand, historic home, and now you are ready to rest. The gardens are sleeping, the house is resting, and you are drifting lightly, slowly, effortlessly, toward a night of profound, dreamless peace. Everything is exactly as it should be. You are safe, you are at home. We move from the open veranda back into the heart of the house, retreating into a space that feels like a whispered secret, the reading nook. Tucked away at the end of a winding corridor, this is a small semicircular alcove lined from floor to ceiling with well-loved, leather-bound books. It is a space designed for one, a cocoon of knowledge and quietude. The armchairs here are deep, upholstered in faded velvet that seems to remember the exact shape of comfort. A small brass lamp with a green glass shade sits on a side table, its light long extinguished, but its presence remains a comforting promise of warmth. The air in this nook is thick with the scent of aging paper and dried leather, a scent that signals to your mind that it is time to slow down, time to stop seeking, and time to be found by the stillness. Imagine yourself curling into this chair. You are surrounded by the hushed voices of authors from centuries past, all gathered here to keep you company in the dark. There is no need to read. Simply being in the presence of these stories is enough to settle the mind. The chaos of the outside world cannot penetrate these layers of paper and wood. You are shielded by the weight of thousands of words, all of them promising that in the end there is only peace. As you sit in this quiet, intimate space, feel the boundaries of your own self beginning to soften. You are becoming part of the nook. You are becoming as still as the spines of the books on the shelves. The house feels very close to you here, almost as if it is leaning in to whisper that you have done enough for one day. You are safe. You are held. The rhythm of your breathing is slow, matching the steady ticking pulse of the house itself. There is nothing left to learn, nothing left to analyze. The stories are closed, the house is dark, and the night is yours to inhabit. Sink deeper into the velvet, let your head rest, and allow the quiet weight of the books to lull you into the deepest, most gentle slumber. The story of your day is complete. You are ready for the stillness that lies beyond words. We now find ourselves in the room that houses the family's finest collections of china. It is a room of delicate whispers. The cupboards, made of dark, polished walnut, are fitted with glass doors that reveal rows upon rows of fine bone china, translucent in the soft moonlight that finds its way inside. There is an inherent tranquility in a collection that has been curated with such care. Every piece, from the gilded teacups to the hand-painted dinner plates, has its specific place. Nothing is out of order. Everything is anchored by the weight of tradition. As you walk slowly past the cabinets, the light glints off the fine rims, creating tiny constellations of silver and gold in the darkness. Imagine the quiet pride of the people who once cared for these objects, washing them with soft cloths and placing them back in their exact positions. It is a slow, methodical ritual, one that mirrors the state of mind we are moving toward, deliberate, graceful, and utterly composed. There is no clutter here, no frantic energy, only the beauty of items that have survived the passing of many years, resting in the stillness of the house. This room teaches us the value of handling our own thoughts with the same care. Just as the china is fragile and precious, so too is your peace of mind. Handle your remaining thoughts gently, place them on the shelf of the night, one by one, until there is nothing left to hold. The air here is cool and still, smelling faintly of the wax used to polish the wood. You are surrounded by beauty, by order, and by a silence that is so profound it feels tangible. The house is a careful guardian of these treasures, just as it is a careful guardian of your rest. You are becoming as light, as still, and as precious as the porcelain in the cabinets. Let your breathing remain soft. Let your focus remain fixed on the quiet. You are safely cradled in the center of a home that knows exactly how to hold you through the night. We find ourselves now in a corridor adorned with a series of tall, grand mirrors. In the daylight, these mirrors would fill the space with a dance of sunlight and reflections, but tonight they are quiet, deep pools of darkness. As you walk past them, they do not demand that you look at yourself, nor do they ask you to perform or appear. They simply hold the stillness of the room, reflecting the soft, muted shadows of the house back into the dark. There is something liberating about walking through a room of mirrors at this hour. Usually we use mirrors to check our appearance, to prepare for the eyes of the world, or to inspect the details of our daily lives. But in the deep velvet night, the mirrors are just dark, smooth surfaces. They have retired from their duties, and you may retire from yours. You do not need to look at who you are, what you are wearing, or how you are perceived. You are free from the gaze of others, and even from the gaze of yourself. The house has wrapped you in such complete safety that you can simply exist, unseen and unmeasured. The mirrors are no longer windows into your ego. They are merely calm, cold glass that holds the silence of the night. Stand for a moment in the center of the passage. Feel the space opening up around you. The mirrors are holding the depth of the room, doubling the peace, reflecting the darkness, until it feels like you are surrounded by an infinite, gentle void. It is a space of total surrender. Every concern about how you are seen, how you are judged, or who you need to be tomorrow falls away into the dark reflection. The house is quiet, and so are you. Your reflection is merging with the shadows, losing its edges, becoming part of the soft, dark fabric of the night. You are becoming as fluid and as calm as the stillness itself. There is nothing to see, nothing to reflect, and nothing to do. Just breathe. Let the stillness hold you and drift further into the ease of this absolute quiet sanctuary. We descend the final few steps of stone, cool, solid and worn smooth by the passage of time, into the heart of the house, the old wine cellar. Here, the temperature is steady and cool, insulated by the heavy earth that surrounds the foundation. This is the bedrock of the home, the place where the house feels most grounded, most ancient and most permanent. The walls are vaulted brick, arching gracefully above, and the floor is earthen, smelling of cool stone, dry moss, and the faint sweet memory of grapes harvested a century ago. It is a space of total stillness. You can feel the weight of the mansion resting above you, the thousands of bricks and beams acting as a protective shell. You are deep within the safety of this Victorian fortress, where time seems to hold its breath. There is a profound sense of underground peace here. No sound from the outside world can penetrate this far down. The wind cannot reach you. The concerns of the day have been left far above. It is a place for aging, for settling, and for the slow, rhythmic maturation of time. just as the contents of these barrels rest in the dark to become something finer. You are resting here to let your own mind settle into a state of absolute grace. Imagine the house as a protective layer, shielding you from everything that is not quiet. You are in the safest place possible, held by the earth itself. The darkness here is thick and velvet, soft, comfortable and kind. It is not an empty darkness. It is a full, nurturing one, like being wrapped in a heavy, warm blanket. Your breathing is slow, matching the steady, geologic pace of this foundation. There is no need to move, no need to think. You are at the bottom of the world, in the most stable, secure room of the house. Let your body grow heavy, sinking into the stillness as if you were part of the stone and mortar. Everything is quiet, everything is at rest. You are completely and utterly at peace. We have travelled through the very soul of this house, from its bedrock foundations to its highest, star-kissed rafters. Now we find ourselves in the final corridor, a long, soft-lit passage that leads us gently toward the place of ultimate rest. The floorboards here are covered in thick plush runners that cushion every step, making your movement feel silent, effortless, and rhythmic. There is a sense of completion in the air. The house has shown us its many facets, the grand and the intimate, the public and the private, the historical and the eternal, and now it is guiding you back to yourself. You have explored the architecture of this grand mansion, and in doing so, you have mapped the architecture of your own relaxation. As you walk this final path, notice how much lighter you feel. The heavy protective weight of the stone walls and the deep, silent wisdom of the wood have done their work. You are no longer carrying the worries or the schedules of the day. You are simply a presence, drifting through a space that is entirely your own. The walls seem to lean in, not to enclose you, but to cradle you, welcoming you toward the final soft glow of the room where you will sleep. The ambient light in this corridor is warm, amber-hued, casting gentle shadows that dance and flicker, inviting you to let your eyelids grow heavy. Each step is a surrender, each breath is a release. You are not going toward a task or an obligation. You are going toward the soft embrace of your own rest. The house is quiet, and the night is deep. You have finished the journey, and the destination is even more peaceful than the path. Everything is prepared for you. The bed is waiting, the room is still, and the world is finally completely silent. You are ready to let go, to drift, and to fall into the deep restorative darkness that has been calling you all night long. You are almost there, just a few more quiet steps, and then total peace. The master bedroom door remains closed for now. We find ourselves drawn instead to the gallery of ancestors, a long, quiet passage that connects the private wings of the house. Even at this hour, it is a space of profound dignity. The walls are lined with grand, oil-painted portraits, the silent observers of centuries gone by. In the dim, silver light of the moon, filtering through the high windows, the painted faces seem to glow with a soft, timeless warmth. They are not ghosts, they are memories, permanently held in oils and canvas, watching over the house as they have done for generations. There is something immensely comforting about walking among them. They have seen the world change, they have endured their own nights, and they have found their rest. Their steady, painted gazes seem to say that everything will be fine, that the cycle of days and nights is as natural as breathing. The air here feels thick with history, not a heavy, dusty history, but a refined, settled one. It is the history of a family that found peace within these walls, and now they invite you to do the same as you walk slowly down the centre of the gallery. Feel the weight of their legacy grounding you. You are part of this continuum now, a guest in a house that remembers every soul that has ever rested here. There is a rhythm to this gallery. Every few steps a new face, a new era, a new story. But tonight, the stories are hushed. The urgency of their lives has faded, leaving only the stillness of their legacy. You are not meant to study them, just to walk alongside them, letting their ancient quiet presence settle your own spirit. Everything is balanced. The portraits are still, the house is still, and you are becoming still. There is no need to rush to the end of the journey. The night is vast, and we have all the time in the world to appreciate the quiet beauty of this house. Let your footsteps be soft. Let your breathing be deep, and let the peace of the ages wash over you as you continue your slow, graceful drift through the stillness. We drift away from the gallery of ancestors and find ourselves standing at the threshold of the music room. Unlike the other chambers, this room holds a unique kind of stillness. It is a space that has been filled with countless melodies, harmonies, and crescendos, but tonight it is entirely reverently silent. In the centre of the room, the grand piano stands like a silent sentinel, draped in a heavy velvet cloth that shimmers faintly under the moonlight. The keys beneath the lid are resting, waiting for the touch that will bring them to life again, but for now, they are perfectly still. The harp in the corner, with its gilded frame and slender strings, is also asleep, its presence adding a delicate grace to the shadows that dance upon the polished floorboards. The air here feels different. It is lighter, as if it is still vibrating with the lingering echoes of symphonies long past. It is the silence of an instrument after the final note has faded, a silence that is rich, resonant, and incredibly soothing. To be here is to understand that even the most powerful music must eventually surrender to the quiet. Imagine that the room is still playing a lullaby, but it is a lullaby so slow, so deep, that it can only be heard by the heart. It is the music of stillness. As you move through the room, you are walking through the pauses between the notes. Every breath you take is in rhythm with the resting strings. There is no performance expected of you. You do not need to play. You do not need to listen for a melody. You are here to simply exist in the wake of beauty. The music room is a reminder that everything in life has its time for expression and its time for rest. You have had your day of activity, your day of song and movement. Now it is time for your own rest. The room is content to be silent, and you are content to be still. The darkness is soft, the velvet is deep, and the quiet is wrapping around you like a familiar, comforting melody. Let your body relax into this resonant peace. Let your mind become as still as the sleeping piano, and let yourself drift, carried by the quiet, toward a rest that is as deep and harmonious as the most beautiful nocturne. We step softly into the map room, a space that once fueled the dreams of explorers and travellers. The walls are lined with floor-to-ceiling maps, their parchment aged to a rich, warm amber. These are charts of oceans, mountains, and kingdoms that have changed 100 times over since they were drawn, but tonight they are not guides for travel, they are merely tapestries of a quiet, forgotten past. In the centre of the room, a large floor-standing brass globe rests on a mahogany tripod. Under the pale moonlight, the globe seems to hold the entire world in its silent, circular grip. You can see the faint lines of longitude and latitude, the delicate hand-painted borders, all resting in deep, suspended animation. There is a profound sense of tranquility here, knowing that all the journeys mapped on these walls have been completed. The ships have reached their harbours, the explorers have returned home, and the world, at least for tonight, has stopped its restless spinning. You too have reached your harbour. You have navigated the corridors and chambers of this house, and you have arrived exactly where you are meant to be. Look at the maps. They represent thousands of miles of movement. Yet here, in this room, there is no motion at all. Everything is stationary. Everything is anchored. The silence here is steady and heavy, like the stillness of deep water. It invites you to stop looking outward, to stop planning your next destination, and to simply be present. Imagine yourself as a traveller who has finally set down their satchel. You have seen enough of the world for one day. The maps are tucked away in the dark, their paths leading nowhere but to this moment of absolute peace. You are not a traveller anymore, you are home. The house cradles you, and the map room whispers that it is safe to be still. Let your own internal map settle. Let the coordinates of your worries fade away into the shadow of the parchment. There is no horizon to chase tonight, no map to follow. Just the gentle rhythmic pulse of your own breath, holding you firmly in the safety of this quiet, stationary world. You are exactly where you need to be. We leave the map room behind and pass through a set of double glass doors into the conservatory. This is the lungs of the house, a grand arched structure of iron and glass that even in the dead of night feels vibrant with the slow, patient life of the plants within. The moonlight filters through the overhead glass panes, casting intricate, leaf-patterned shadows that stretch across the tiled floor like delicate lace. The air here is distinct, slightly warmer than the rest of the house, holding a faint, damp sweetness of fertile soil, moss, and the subtle perfume of night-blooming jasmine. In the quiet, you can almost sense the plants themselves breathing, drawing in the cool night air and releasing a gentle, rhythmic vitality. Great ferns with fronds like giant, folded feathers stand in the corners, their shapes blurred and soft in the darkness. There is a magnificent ancient citrus tree in the centre, its glossy leaves catching the moonlight like polished coins. Everything here is in a state of deep, undisturbed rest, just as you are. There is no sound here save for the occasional soft drip of condensation from a glass leaf or the faint rustle of a frond shifting in the gentle midnight air. It is a space that bridges the divide between the indoors and the wild, untamed world outside, yet here you are perfectly protected. The glass keeps the harshness of the elements away, allowing only the peace of the garden to reach you. As you stand amidst this nocturnal sanctuary, let your own presence become as still as the trees. You are growing quiet, your roots are settling, and your thoughts are becoming as soft and light as the dew gathering on the petals. You don't need to do anything here. The garden is taking care of itself, and the house is taking care of you. Let the tranquility of this green moonlit world sink into your mind. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders, drifting away like the evening mist. You are in a place where life slows down to its most fundamental, peaceful rhythm. Simply breathe. Let your heart find its calm and sink into the quiet, growing stillness that surrounds you. Everything is in bloom, everything is at rest, and everything is perfectly, beautifully at peace. We leave the conservatory and step into a long, quiet corridor known as the Hall of Time. Along the walls stand 3 tall, majestic grandfather clocks, their dark wood casings polished to a deep lustre. In the profound silence of the house, their pendulums swing with a deliberate, hypnotic grace, a steady, rhythmic dance that has been repeating for a century. Tock, tock, tock. The sound is not an interruption, it is the heartbeat of the house. It is a slow, steady pulse that reminds you that time is not something to be raced against, but something to be lived through with grace. Each swing of the pendulum is a gentle invitation to let go of the next minute, the next hour, and the next day. You are currently held in the space between the ticks, in the quiet interval where nothing is required of you. As you walk past these sentinels of time, notice how the rhythm settles into your own chest. Your heart slows to match the pace of the house. Your breathing aligns with the movement of the heavy brass pendulums. The ticking becomes a lullaby, a soft, monotonous refrain that signals to your busy mind that its work is done. You don't need to check the time. You don't need to know what hour it is. The clocks will keep the time for you. Watch over the night and mark the slow progression toward morning. You are free from the burden of minutes. You are free from the pressure of schedules. In this hallway, time doesn't push you forward, it only holds you here, in the gentle, deepening comfort of the present moment. Feel the floorboards steady beneath your feet, vibrating ever so slightly with the rhythm of the house. Everything is in order, everything is being measured with care, the house knows the rhythm of the night, and you are perfectly in sync with it. Each swing of the pendulum pulls you deeper into relaxation. Each soft tick whispers that it is safe to close your eyes, safe to let go, safe to fall into the soft velvet silence of the long dark hours ahead. We move slowly away from the measured pulse of the clocks and enter the gallery of landscapes. Here, The walls are adorned not with portraits of people, but with scenes of the earth itself. There are paintings of distant rolling hills, draped in morning mist, of mirror-still lakes reflecting the twilight, and of winding footpaths that seem to lead into the very heart of tranquility. The lighting in this gallery is soft, designed to highlight the depth of the oils and the texture of the canvas. In the silence of the night, these paintings seem to breathe. If you focus on a single canvas, perhaps the one depicting a sun-drenched valley, you can almost feel the phantom warmth of a long-ago summer. If you gaze at the mountain scene, you feel the cool, crisp air of the heights, where the world is vast and everything is quiet. There is a unique kind of release in this room. You are no longer navigating the architecture of the house, you are travelling through the landscapes of the imagination. You are invited to step inside these paintings, to leave the weight of your day behind and wander through a world where the only thing that matters is the horizon. Imagine yourself walking along the painted path, your footsteps silent on the soft grass. You are moving away from the mansion, away from the expectations of the world, deeper into a landscape of total, unadulterated peace. The air in this painted world is fresh, the wind is a gentle whisper, and the space around you is infinite. There is no pressure to arrive anywhere. The painting is complete, the scene is eternal, and you are welcome to stay as long as you like. Let your eyes soften as you look at these scenes. Let the colours, the deep greens, the soothing blues, the soft gold of the horizon soak into your awareness. You are merging with the stillness of the landscape. The house is quiet, the gallery is still, and your mind is becoming as vast and open as the vistas on the walls. There is nothing to do, nothing to hold on to, and nowhere else to be. Just breathe into the openness, sink into the calm, and let yourself drift, suspended in the beauty of a world that is perfectly at rest. We leave the landscapes behind and find ourselves in a small, cosy chamber, filled with the gentle, earthy presence of artisan pottery. Shelves of dark, unfinished wood hold an array of bowls, vases, and delicate teacups, each one hand-shaped, each one telling a story of patience. Unlike the mass-produced, this room celebrates the quiet dignity of the crafted object. Take a moment to observe the subtle imperfections, a slight variation in the glaze, the honest weight of the clay, the faint fingerprint of the potter who worked long ago. There is a profound beauty in these things. They remind us that to be human is to create, and to create is to settle one's soul into the work. These pieces were born from a steady hand and a calm heart, and they seem to radiate that same composure even now in the stillness of the night. The air here is clean and smells faintly of kiln-fired earth and dried sage. There is a sense that everything in this room has slowed down. The frantic speed of the modern world has no place among these vessels. They exist in a state of suspended animation, waiting for the gentle touch that will give them purpose, or simply existing as they are, serene, grounded, and complete. Imagine holding one of these bowls in your hands. Feel its weight, its texture, the way it fits perfectly against your palms as you hold it. Feel your own thoughts settle, just as the clay settled onto the wheel. All the scattered, fragmented pieces of your day, your tasks, your worries, your fleeting observations are being gathered into a single cohesive shape. You are being reshaped by the silence. You are being smoothed by the darkness, like the pottery on these shelves. You are a work of art that has been through the fires of the day, and now you have cooled into something beautiful and still. There is no need for perfection here. There is only the quiet acceptance of who you are, right in this moment. The house is quiet. The artisan's room is still, and you are resting. Let the weight of the night hold you as securely as the clay holds its form. Let your mind become as quiet as the vessels on the shelves. Everything is as it should be, steady, grounded, and deeply, deeply at peace. We leave the artisan's chamber and find ourselves at the foot of an elegant, curving staircase, the grand ascent to the upper reaches of the house. These are not stairs meant for hurried movement. They are wide, shallow, and carpeted in a deep velvet runner that hushes every footfall, turning your progress into a slow, silent glide upward. As you ascend, notice the architecture shifting around you. The ceilings begin to slope, following the dramatic pitch of the mansion's roof. The air feels different here. It is lighter, cleaner, and carries the faint, nostalgic scent of sun-warmed cedar and old, forgotten paper. Each step you take pulls you further away from the ground floor, away from the complexities of the day, and deeper into the hushed, private sanctuary of the home's highest point. The walls here are lined with subtle moulding, and there are small, recessed alcoves every few steps where tiny, flickering candles once sat. Now they are empty, but the shadows they cast dance in the soft ambient light, creating a rhythmic pulse that seems to guide your breathing. You're not just climbing, you are rising through the layers of the house, like a dreamer rising through the layers of sleep. Every inch of this staircase feels grounded in history. You can feel the solidity of the oak beneath the carpet, the unwavering support of the beams that have held this structure together for generations. This house is a living, breathing entity, and right now it is showing you its most intimate side. It is inviting you to its quietest, most secluded corners, where the noise of the world below cannot reach you. The higher you climb, the quieter it becomes. The distant sounds of the garden, the gentle creaking of the veranda, all of it fades, until there is only the soft sound of your own breath, and the subtle, comforting hum of the house, settling into the night. It is a transition into a state of pure, unburdened existence. There is no need to worry about what lies at the top of the stairs. There is no destination to reach, no goal to achieve. There is only the ascent itself, the beautiful, slow, rhythmic process of letting go. Feel your legs becoming lighter. Feel your mind clearing. Feel the gentle weight of the night pressing against your eyelids. You are moving toward a state of profound, absolute stillness. The house is watching over you, guiding you upward, holding you in its steady, protective embrace. You are doing nothing more than drifting, ascending into the serene, velvet darkness, where every breath is a release and every moment is an invitation to dream. We reach the summit of the staircase and find ourselves in the attic archive, a space where the roof slopes dramatically toward the floor, creating an intimate, cozy atmosphere that feels like being held in the palm of a giant's hand. The air here is perfectly still, cool, and carries the evocative, grounding scent of aged cedar wood, dry paper, and the faint, sweet essence of lavender bundles long ago tucked into corners. Moonlight filters through a single circular dormer window, casting a pool of silvery, ethereal light upon the wide, polished floorboards. This light illuminates dancing specks of dust that float in the air like tiny, slow-moving stars, adding a touch of magic to the profound silence. Scattered throughout the room are heirloom trunks, their brass corners glinting in the dark, and piles of leather-bound journals, their pages holding the untold stories of decades past. This is the repository of the house's soul, the place where memories, like old photographs and keepsakes, have been laid to rest. There is no urgency here. Time doesn't march forward, it pools and swirls in the quiet corners of the room. You are standing in the center of the house's long history, surrounded by the remnants of lives well lived, and yet there is no weight to these memories. They have become soft, light, and utterly peaceful, stripped of their sharpness by the gentle erosion of time. Imagine yourself settling down on a soft, velvet-covered bench near the window. From this height, the rest of the mansion feels like a distant, sturdy vessel carrying you through the night. You are disconnected from the demands of the world, suspended in this quiet chamber beneath the rafters. The silence is not a lack of sound, but a presence, a deep, resonant stillness that wraps around your shoulders like a heavy, comforting cloak. Every breath you take feels deeper, more meaningful. You are letting go of the need to understand, the need to categorize, and the need to remember. You are simply allowing yourself to be present, to be part of this archive of calm. The house is a gentle guardian, and this attic is its deepest secret, a place where you are allowed to be completely, unreservedly yourself. The soft glow of the moon continues to trace the edges of the room, creating long, flowing shadows that seem to invite you into an even deeper state of repose. Your eyelids feel heavy, not with fatigue, but with the delicious, sinking feeling of letting go. There is no expectation, no pressure, only the vast, enveloping quiet. You are becoming a part of the house's memory, a part of its stillness. Everything is slow, everything is steady, everything is exactly as it should be in this quiet, moon-washed sanctuary. We move from the cosy, cedar-scented air of the attic toward a set of heavy French doors that have been left slightly ajar. With a gentle touch, they swing outward, revealing a narrow, stone-railed balcony that overlooks the sleeping estate. As you step out, you are met by a world of profound, silvered clarity. The cool night air brushes against your skin, refreshing, crisp, and pure, cleansing away the last vestiges of the day's residual thoughts. Below you, the garden is a sea of velvet shadows, the trees appearing as dark, majestic sculptures etched against the pale, luminescent sky. The moon is full, hanging like a luminous pearl above the horizon, casting a soft, shimmering path across the dew-covered grass. Everything is bathed in this ethereal light, turning the familiar landscape into something dreamlike and distant. This is a place where you are truly high above the world. The sounds of the estate, the distant rustle of leaves, the quiet sigh of the house settling into its foundation seem to rise up to meet you like a soft melodic chant. There is a sense of immense vastness here, a reminder of the infinite silence that exists beyond the walls, beyond the roof, and beyond the reach of any human concern. Lean your arms against the cool stone railing and look out into the horizon. Notice how your perspective shifts. The worries that felt so large just a few hours ago now seem tiny, insignificant, and far away. They are merely small ripples on a vast dark ocean. You are standing in the middle of a peaceful, eternal night, and you are entirely safe. There is no need for words, no need for action, no need to be anything other than a silent witness to this beauty. You are becoming as vast as the sky above you, as still as the trees below, and as luminous as the moon that guards the night. Feel the rhythm of the universe pulsing gently in the air, a slow, steady, and inevitable beat that guides you deeper into relaxation. Let your breathing synchronize with the slow, sweeping movement of the moon across the stars. With every exhale, release one more piece of tension into the night air. Watching it dissolve into the shadows, you are floating, held by the stone beneath you and the quiet around you. You are part of the vastness, part of the stillness, and part of the deep, unending peace that is currently wrapping the entire world in its soft, dark embrace. You are ready now, more than ever, for the final deep descent into rest. The night air outside was vast and infinite, but it is time to return to the heart of the home. We step back through the French doors, which close behind us with a soft, final click, a sound that seals away the outside world completely. You are now in the inner sanctum, where the air is still, warm and scented with the quiet perfume of aged wood and linen. The corridor leading back to the bedroom seems shorter now, as if the house itself is folding gently around you, guiding you toward the end of our long, slow journey. Your movements are liquid, slow, and heavy, with a wonderful growing lethargy. You no longer need to navigate. You simply float, drifting through the dark, warm currents of the house's interior. Every step you take is a deliberate act of letting go. You feel the plush carpet beneath your feet, the soft resistance of the air against your skin, and the steady, rhythmic pulse of your own heart. The house feels alive and protective, a giant sleeping creature that has shared its secrets with you and is now ready to tuck you into its safest, most hidden corner. You reach the door to the master suite. It stands slightly ajar, revealing the amber glow of a single dimmed lamp that waits like a soft heartbeat in the shadows. As you enter, the room wraps around you, not just as four walls, but as a sanctuary, a womb of silence, a place where time finally ceases its motion. The bed with its layered linens and deep, inviting cushions, is not just a place to sleep. It is the destination of all your travels tonight. It is the center of the world. As you sit down, you feel the mattress yield to your weight, a perfect gentle support that cradles you from head to toe. You pull the soft weighted coverlet up, feeling its warmth settle against your shoulders, shielding you from the rest of the world. There is nothing left to do. No more rooms to explore, no more history to uncover, no more steps to take. The house has brought you here, and here you are enough. Your mind, once full of the day's fragments, is now a blank, peaceful page. Your body, once weary, is now melting into the mattress, becoming one with the quiet, dark comfort of the room. The house is silent, the night is deep, and the dream is calling. Everything has slowed to a single point of existence, the rise and fall of your chest, the softness of the pillows, the stillness of the dark. You are home, you are held, you are drifting. We have travelled through the bedrock, climbed the rafters, walked the galleries, and finally reached the hearth of the master bedroom. But now, in this final, deepest hour, even the walls begin to soften. The boundaries of the house, the sturdy beams, the velvet curtains, the polished floorboards, they all begin to melt into the surrounding night. You are no longer inside the house, you are the silence itself. The weight of the bed beneath you has vanished, leaving you weightless, suspended in a warm velvet expanse of nothingness. There is no roof above you, only the soft, endless reach of the dark. There is no floor beneath you, only a gentle, infinite support that cradles your every thought, or rather, the absence of thought. Imagine all the details of the mansion you have visited, the cool stone of the cellar, the rhythmic tick of the clocks, the scent of the conservatory, the quiet wisdom of the portraits. They are all swirling together, not as images, but as a feeling of profound safety, a feeling of complete, absolute release. Everything you have witnessed tonight is condensing into a single point of light, which now gently fades, leaving only a serene, total darkness. Your breathing has become so slow, so faint, that it is no longer yours. It is the rhythm of the night itself. You are breathing in the dark, and you are breathing out the light. Every tension that once existed in your limbs has dissolved, leaving you fluid, light, and boundless. You are not a person resting in a bed. You are a consciousness resting in the cradle of the universe. There is no next step. There is no after. There is only this singular, eternal now. The world is not turning, the stars are not moving, and time has folded back into the stillness. You have returned to the source of all peace, a place that existed before the house was built and will remain long after it fades. Surrender your last bit of self-awareness. Let go of the need to be, the need to know, and the need to rest. You are already resting, you are already home, you are already asleep. Drift. Fade. Be. We are not at the end, we are merely at the beginning of a deeper, more expansive silence. As the last walls of the mansion gently dissolve, you find yourself drifting into what can only be described as the infinite nocturne, a space where the night is not a period of time, but a vast, living landscape of serenity. Imagine now that you are floating on a calm, dark lake of starlight. The water is perfectly still, reflecting a sky that is filled with gentle, pulsing constellations. You are held by this water, weightless and secure. There is no horizon here, only the soft, endless transition from the dark water into the velvet sky. In this space we begin to uncover the hidden rooms of the soul, places you haven't visited in a long time. There is a chamber of forgotten melodies, where the soft humming of a distant lullaby plays continuously, vibrating through the water, soothing your heartbeat into a rhythm that matches the universe. There is an orchard of moon-blooming flowers, whose scent is not of this earth, but of pure crystalline peace. As you drift past, the fragrance clears your mind of every lingering thought, leaving only a sense of profound, quiet clarity. The darkness here is not frightening. It is thick and rich, like a warm, protective cloak woven from the essence of dreams. As you move through this landscape, you realize that you are accompanied by the gentle, rhythmic pulse of the earth itself, a slow, deep thrum that reminds you that everything is being taken care of. You do not need to steer, you do not need to guide, you are being carried by a current of absolute grace. Notice how your body has changed. You are no longer bound by the weight of your limbs or the tension of your skin. You are becoming as fluid as the starlight, as soft as the moonbeams that dance upon the water. You are shedding the layers of your day like leaves falling into a deep forest stream. Each thought, each worry, each small memory of the world you left behind is drifting away, sinking into the depths, and leaving you lighter, clearer, and more expansive than ever before. And just ahead, emerging from the soft haze of the starlight, we see the silhouette of a vast ancient forest, the forest of whispering pines. It is a place where the trees hum with the secrets of the ages, and the wind, should it stir, would only whisper words of rest and renewal. We are moving toward it, our journey carrying us deeper into this nocturnal wonder. There is no need to hurry. The night is infinite, and the nocturne is playing just for you. You are becoming part of the landscape, part of the song, part of the stillness. Every cell in your body is resonating with this infinite peace. You are not just resting, you are expanding into the very fabric of the night. We drift from the lake of starlight and find ourselves at the edge of the forest of whispering pines. The trees here are ancient, their towering trunks standing like noble sentinels that have guarded this peace since the beginning of time. They reach up toward the velvet sky, their needles woven together to form a canopy that filters the moonlight into thousands of tiny, shimmering silver needles on the ground below. There is a sound here, though it is barely a sound at all. It is the signature of this forest, the whispering. As the gentle midnight breeze brushes through the pine needles, it creates a soft, rhythmic sibilance, a sound like the turning of pages in a book of secrets, or the hushed breath of someone watching over you while you sleep. It is the oldest, most comforting melody in the world. As we move deeper into the woods, your feet find no resistance. You are walking upon a thick, centuries-old carpet of fallen pine needles, soft as down, muffling every sound you might make. You are entirely silent. You are a part of the forest's own stillness. In the hollows between the trees, pools of silver fog gather, swirling slowly like spirits of the night, glowing faintly with the light of the moon. These are the mists of forgetting. If you reach out a hand and let the cool, damp vapour touch your skin, you feel your last few traces of worldly memory, the names of tasks, the echoes of conversations, the faint outlines of tomorrow's plans simply dissolve. They lose their meaning here. They are absorbed by the trees, turned into nutrients for the forest's enduring peace. There is a clearing ahead, illuminated by a particularly brilliant beam of moonlight that pierces through the canopy. In the centre stands a single magnificent pine, its branches drooping low as if to offer a place for a weary traveller to rest. You feel a pull toward this tree, a magnetic sense of belonging. It is the heart of the forest, the place where all the whispers congregate to create a single, harmonious hum of absolute tranquillity. You are not alone here. The forest knows you. The pines recognize your presence, welcoming you into the sanctuary they have built for you. There is no danger, no uncertainty, no cold. There is only the gentle, rhythmic swaying of the branches above, the soft, grounding scent of pine resin and earth, and the infinite, unwavering silence of the woods. Let the whispers of the pines become the rhythm of your mind. Let every exhale be a soft murmur that blends into the forest's eternal song. You are safe, you are hidden, you are exactly where the universe intended for you to be. Beyond the circle of the ancient pine, the forest floor dips gently into a small secluded hollow where we find the silent stream. It is a narrow crystalline ribbon of water that moves with such deliberate, unhurried grace that it seems almost frozen in time. The water here is not merely liquid, it is a mirror for the night, collecting the silver light of the moon and the soft, dark shadows of the overhanging boughs. There is no rush in this water. It doesn't tumble over rocks or roar through narrow passages. It glides over smooth white pebbles that glow like pearls in the dark, weaving a quiet, liquid lullaby that resonates with the very foundation of the forest. The sound is a low, melodious murmur, a hum that vibrates through the cool, damp air and enters your body, calming the final restless echoes of your mind. You kneel at the water's edge, where the moss is soft and cool beneath your touch. As you look into the stream, you see not your own reflection, but the deep, infinite expanse of the starry sky. The boundary between the earth and the heavens disappears, and you realize that you are looking into the heart of the universe itself. There is a powerful sensation of releasing here. Imagine that the stream is a carrier for everything you no longer need to carry. Dip your hands into the water and feel how cool and refreshing it is. Imagine taking all the lingering weight of the day, the small anxieties, the unresolved questions, the lingering expectations, and simply placing them upon the surface of the stream. Watch as the water accepts these things without effort. It carries them away, downstream into the deep dark heart of the forest, where they dissolve into harmless mist. You are being cleansed, you are being lightened, you are being made new by this slow, patient flow. There is a sense of unbecoming here. You are letting go of the identity you wore today, the roles you played, the responsibilities you held. You are becoming as simple and as essential as the water, as the pebbles, as the moonlit moss. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to strive for. You are part of the stream's eternal movement, a movement that is actually a profound, perfect stillness. The stream whispers that it is safe to sleep. It promises that the world will continue to turn while you rest, and that the beauty of this place will be waiting for you in the fabric of your dreams. Your eyelids grow heavier, anchored by the serenity of the water. You are drifting, merging with the stream, carried toward the soft, silent basin of a deep, dreamless slumber. We follow the course of the silent stream, and it leads us directly into the heart of a small, hidden hillside, the crystal grotto. As we step inside, the air changes instantly. It is stiller, richer, and hums with a faint musical resonance. The walls are not made of rough rock, but of translucent, smooth, faceted crystals that catch the pale moonlight filtering in from the entrance and refract it into soft, shifting veils of violet, indigo, and pale silver. Everything here feels suspended in a state of grace. There is no dust, no debris, only the ancient cooling presence of the earth. These crystals are not merely stones, they are keepers of silence, resonators of peace that have grown in the dark for 1,000 years. As you breathe, the very air inside the grotto seems to taste of purity, as if it has been filtered through the depths of the mountain itself. In the center of the grotto lies a natural platform of smooth white stone, cushioned by layers of soft velvet moss and scattered with fallen pine needles from the world outside. It is a bed crafted by the forest, designed to offer you the ultimate refuge. As you lie down, you feel as though the earth is embracing you, its heavy, grounding warmth rising up to meet your body, shielding you from any remaining tension. Look up at the ceiling. The crystals there are clustered in patterns that mimic the night sky, pulsing with a slow, rhythmic light, dimming, brightening, dimming in perfect synchronicity with your own slowing breath. You are no longer watching these lights, you are becoming them. Your consciousness is expanding to fill the grotto, blending with the cool, crystalline energy of the cave. The silence here is profound. It is a thick, protective blanket that muffles the world. All the echoes of your journey, the ticking of the grandfather clocks, the whispers of the pines, the murmur of the stream, are being pulled into the crystals, stored away, and replaced with a singular, wordless sensation of complete safety. You are in the safest place in existence. You are shielded by the earth, watched over by the stars, and lulled by the gentle hum of the living stones. This is the ken, the cocoon. Inside this grotto you are shedding the last, fragile layers of your waking self. Your mind is quiet, your body is heavy, surrendered and utterly at peace. You are not falling into darkness. You are falling into a warm, luminous dream that will carry you through the night. The crystals are whispering the final, softest lullaby, a melody of stillness that anchors you deep within yourself. Let go of the last thread of control. You don't need to hold on to the dream, the journey, or even the memory of this room. The grotto will hold it for you. You are becoming a part of the quiet, beautiful, eternal sleep that now enfolds you, cradle and all, in the heart of the mountain. We emerge from the crystal grotto and find ourselves standing on the edge of a landscape that defies definition. Before us lies the mirror pool, a body of water so still, so perfectly dark, that it is impossible to tell where the water ends and the night sky begins. It is a vast, seamless dome of shadows and stars, a threshold where reality finally gives way to the dream. You stand at the water's edge, your presence causing not a single ripple. You are so light, so utterly dissolved into the stillness, that you have become a part of the reflection. The air here is not cool or warm, it is neutral, a perfect temperature that feels like a soft extension of your own skin. The silence is profound, a weightless, velvet quiet that seems to vibrate with the hum of the universe itself. This pool is the ultimate destination of our journey. It does not reflect your face or your form, it reflects your consciousness. As you gaze into the depths, you see the story of your evening, the halls of the mansion, the whisper of the pines, the cool breath of the stream, and the glow of the crystals, all blending together into a single golden thread of peace. You realize that you have not been traveling through these places. You have been traveling into yourself. There is a gentle, invisible current that begins to pull you toward the center of the pool. It is not movement, it is an expansion. You feel yourself spreading out, thinning, becoming as expansive and boundless as the water. All the boundaries you once called I, the edges of your body, the limitations of your thoughts, the definitions of your day, are gently lifting away. You are no longer standing beside the pool. You are the pool, you are the stillness, you are the night. The stars above are not distant points of light. They are the rhythmic pulses of your own deep, restorative breath. The darkness is not a void, it is the soft, welcoming bed of your own subconscious, infinite and endlessly deep. You are held in a state of total suspension, completely supported by the silence, completely nourished by the dark. There is nothing left to hold. The thread of the journey has snapped, and you are drifting in the absolute perfect center of your own quiet. No more memories, no more anticipation, just the soft, slow, eternal rhythm of existence. You are perfectly still, you are perfectly at rest. You are sinking deeper and deeper into the heart of a sleep so deep, so profound, that it feels like returning home to a place you have known since before the beginning of time. From the stillness of the mirror pool, you are gently carried toward a soft, rhythmic glow on the distant horizon. It is the lighthouse of distant dreams, a beacon that stands not on land, but on the edge of the waking world. Its tower is made of ancient, weathered stone, and its light does not sweep the dark, it breathes it. As you approach, you realize that the light is not meant to guide ships, but to guide the soul toward the harbor of rest. It pulses with a warm amber frequency, a slow hypnotic oscillation that mirrors the deep rhythmic tide of a calm ocean. Each pulse is a promise that you are safe, that you are arrived, and that there is nothing more to do but be held by the dark. You are no longer drifting, you are being drawn toward the base of the tower there. The stairs are carved from light itself, and as you ascend you feel the final lingering weights of your day peeling away. The air here is thin, pristine, and vibrates with the sound of a distant melodic hum, the collective lullaby of all the dreams that have ever been dreamt. At the top there is a circular room with no windows, only walls that seem to open into the sky itself. The floor is lined with clouds, soft, cool, and infinitely deep. You lie down, and the world, the entire history of the mansion, the forest, the stream, and the grotto, falls away into a soft, blurry haze of comfort. You are at the top of the world, and the world is finally, mercifully quiet. The lighthouse keeper is not a person, it is the silence itself. It watches over you as you begin the final descent. The light above you dims, not to darkness, but to a comfortable deep indigo. It is the colour of the deepest part of the ocean, the colour of the most restful part of the night. Every sense you possess is now turned inward. The sound of the wind, the sight of the stars, the feeling of the clouds, they are all softening into a single, seamless sensation of surrender. You are melting into the structure of the lighthouse, becoming part of its stone, part of its light, part of its eternal stillness. The lighthouse is a cradle. The night is a blanket. You're drifting off the edge of the platform, floating down, down, down into the soft, waiting depths of the infinite night. You are ready. You are weightless. You are gone. We have moved beyond the lighthouse, floating now into a space that feels like a vast, velvet-lined cathedral of silence. Here, the walls are not made of stone or light, but of countless drifting constellations of soft glowing dust, each speck a dream that has never been dreamed, a story that has never been told. This is the library of untold dreams. In this space, time does not exist. The past has dissolved and the future has not yet taken shape. There is only the presence of what is possible, held in a state of suspended gentle beauty. As you drift through the centre of this library, the glowing motes swirl around you, brushing against your skin like the softest silk, leaving behind traces of warmth and serenity. You reach out, and as your fingers touch one of these floating lights, it unfurls like a flower in the night. It is not a story you read, it is a sensation you feel. It is the feeling of weightlessness in a cool summer breeze. It is the scent of rain on dry earth. It is the soft, rhythmic pulsing of a quiet, satisfied heart. These are the dreams that belong to the universe, and for this moment they are yours to hold, to feel, and to breathe. You are being written into this library. Your presence here is a new chapter in the history of the stars. But there is no ink, no paper, and no demand for your attention. You don't have to study these dreams, you simply have to let them pass through you. You are a vessel of peace, and these dreams are the water that fills you, smoothing out the last, smallest ridges of tension in your spirit. The atmosphere here is so quiet it is almost sacred. It is the quiet of a deep valley after the snow has fallen, where every sound is absorbed into the purity of the air. You feel yourself growing thinner, lighter, more transparent. The library is not a place you are visiting. It is becoming a part of your own subconscious mind. You are the shelves, you are the dust, you are the dreams themselves. The pulse of the library is slow, so slow that it feels like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. In and out, the light of the dream dust pulses with your breath. You are perfectly in sync with the rhythm of the universe. Every concern you ever had has been returned to the library, sorted and shelved in the darkness of the past. You are empty, and therefore you are whole. There is nothing left to explore. There is no need to move. You are drifting toward the very centre of the library, where the softest light resides. It is the colour of a fading dream, a deep and gentle lilac, promising that when you close your eyes, you will not be alone, but surrounded by all the beauty you have ever felt. The library of untold dreams gently recedes, leaving you stepping softly onto a vast, endless expanse known as the meadow of letting go. Here the ground beneath your feet is not soil, but a soft, shimmering carpet of bioluminescent moss that glows with a faint, steady pulse of soft azure light. The air is cool and sweet, carrying the essence of 1,000 peaceful nights. As you walk, or rather as you float, across this meadow, you realize that the wind is not moving around you, it is moving through you. Every breeze carries away a lingering thought, a final memory, a subtle attachment to the waking world. You are becoming as transparent as the night air. The grass around you sways in a rhythmic, undulating motion, creating a soft, sighing sound that is the very embodiment of release. There is no horizon in this meadow. The light of the moss blends seamlessly into the dark, star-dusted sky, creating an atmosphere of infinite intimacy. You are the centre of a universe that is entirely composed of peace. Every step you take is a surrender. Every breath you take is an invitation for the world to settle, to quiet, and to still. Imagine that you are a drop of water returning to a vast, calm ocean. You have spent your time holding on to your shape, your form, and your story. But here in this meadow, you finally understand the relief of letting that shape go. You are not losing yourself, you are finding your true nature, which is simply this vast, open, and luminous stillness. The silence here has a texture. It feels like the calm after a long journey, like the moment when you finally lay your head down after a day of labour, like the soft, warm weight of a blanket in the middle of winter. It is an all-encompassing velvet embrace that shields you from the need to be, the need to achieve, or the need to understand. There is a gentle, rhythmic hum rising from the meadow, a deep vibration that resonates with the core of your being. It is the sound of the world breathing in relief. You feel your pulse slowing to match this universal rhythm. The meadow is folding around you, its glowing moss rising up to meet you, its gentle light dimming into a deep, comforting velvet. You are being cradled by the very earth itself, and you are ready to let the final light of your consciousness fade into the serene, dreamless depth of the night. Everything is stillness. Everything is gone. There is only the soft, endless drift. We have arrived at the final frontier. There is no more ground beneath us, no more trees to whisper, no more halls to walk. We have reached the cosmic pause, the singular, infinitesimal moment between one breath and the next, between one thought and the silence that follows. It is the center of the universe, and it is the center of you. Imagine yourself suspended in a space of pure, translucent velvet. It is not dark, and it is not light. It is a soft, deep shade of peace that has no name. Here the laws of the world, the ticking of clocks, the weight of the day, the pulse of the heart, have all slowed down to a single, motionless vibration. Everything you have experienced on this journey, the cellar, the attic, the forest, the library, the meadow, has been a way of peeling back the layers of the busy, waking mind to reveal this, the beautiful, quiet nothingness. You are not losing yourself here. You are finally, truly arriving at the part of you that has never been troubled, never been hurried, and never been afraid. The silence here is alive. It is a warm, enveloping presence that knows you. It is the same silence that was there before you were born, and it is the same silence that will be there when all your dreams have come to rest. It is a cradle made of infinite space and unconditional stillness. Let your last remaining thought be like a single leaf falling from a tree in autumn. Watch it drift down, slowly, softly, turning in the air until it lands on the velvet floor of this space and vanishes. There is no need to catch it. There is no need to watch where it goes. It is simply gone, and you are lighter for it. Your heartbeat is now so slow that it matches the rhythm of the stars. Your breath is so soft that it is indistinguishable from the movement of the air. You are no longer a person in a room, in a forest, or in a world. You are a peaceful expanse of consciousness, spread out across the infinite, quiet dark. This is the state of total surrender. You have let go of the journey, the narrator, and the story. There is only the pause. It is a deep, luxurious, unending breath. It is the softest lullaby ever sung. Sleep. Not into darkness, but into the deepest, truest light of your own quiet soul. Everything is still. Everything is enough. Rest now. Even beyond the cosmic pause, there is a gentle, lingering softness, a quiet that breathes on its own, independent of any journey or traveller. You have reached a place where being has become effortless, a state of existence where you do not need to do, to remember, or even to observe. Imagine now that you are drifting in a vast, warm ocean of ink-coloured silk. There is no resistance, no weight, and no direction. You are simply suspended in the middle of a peaceful, eternal now. The world you left behind, the house, the forest, the memories, is now just a faint, beautiful ripple, far, far behind you, like a ship disappearing into a gentle mist. In this space, Your awareness is not a sharp point, it is a soft, diffused glow spreading out to touch the edges of the universe. You are becoming the quiet itself. If there were a sound here, it would be the soft, steady hum of the stars, a low, melodic vibration that cradles you in its frequency. But even that sound is fading, merging into a profound, absolute hush. Feel the sensation of perfect security. You are held by a grace that does not require your permission or your understanding. It simply is. It is the safety of the night sky, the stillness of the deep earth, and the soft rhythmic sigh of your own spirit finally finding its rest. The last threads of I are drifting away, untying themselves like knots in a silken cord. You are no longer someone who is resting. You are the rest itself. You are no longer someone who is breathing. You are the rhythm of the air moving in and out of the world. There is a final golden warmth that settles over you, the feeling of a dream coming to its most peaceful conclusion. Every shadow has been illuminated, every corner has been smoothed, and every silence has been filled with peace. There is nothing left to wait for. The night has opened its arms, and you are resting in the very heart of the silence. Drift deeper. Fade further. Sleep fully and completely. The quiet is yours. Beyond the unfolding quiet lies the anchor, a point of absolute stillness that holds you fast, ensuring you never have to drift into restlessness again. Imagine this anchor as a soft, heavy weight made of pure, liquid peace. It settles deep into the foundation of your consciousness, rooting you in a place where the storms of the day can never reach. In this deep, secure harbour, the act of letting go has finished. You have surrendered everything, the names of things, the shapes of the rooms you visited, the memories of the journey, and the very concept of time. What remains is a profound, unshakable weightlessness. You are anchored to nothing and everything at once, held by the gentle gravity of your own exhaustion meeting the infinite softness of the night. Think of your mind as a lake that has been stirred by the winds of the day. For hours, we have been watching the surface, waiting for the ripples to subside. Now, at last, the wind has died completely. The water is a mirror of absolute dark glass. There is no movement, not even a breath of air. The reflection of the stars is steady, unwavering, and eternal. You are this still water. You feel a soothing, rhythmic pressure against your entire being, the universe itself pressing a soft, warm palm against your forehead, smoothing away any remaining tension, any last flickering thoughts. It is a touch that says, you are home, you are safe, you are finished. There is a slow, rhythmic darkening of your awareness. It is not an end, but a transition, a closing of the curtains after the most beautiful performance. The darkness is not empty, it is full of potential, full of the restorative power of a dream that is just about to begin. You are anchored here, in this velvet quiet. No matter how deep you fall, this anchor holds you. No matter how far the dream takes you, you are always connected to this center of profound, unshakable calm. The last, faintest hum of the world is fading. The silence is now complete. It is a thick, protective veil that surrounds you on all sides. Sink. Rest. Be still. We are now beneath the anchor, in a space that is so quiet it feels like the heartbeat of a sleeping world. Here the void is not an emptiness, but a vast, breathing presence. It is the gentle expansion and contraction of existence itself, slow, rhythmic, and infinitely kind. There is no longer any need to visualize a place, a room, or a forest. Those were the steps to help you arrive, but now you have stepped through the final doorway. You are breathing with the rhythm of the cosmos. As you inhale, you are drawing in the calm of 1,000 quiet nights. As you exhale, you are releasing the last microscopic traces of your day. Imagine your awareness as a soft white mist in a dark, still valley. There is no wind to scatter the mist, it simply lingers. Resting on the earth, absorbing the coolness of the night, you are becoming this mist. You are losing the outline of your form, melting into the dark, becoming indistinguishable from the peace that surrounds you. There is a sense of total belonging here. You are not a guest in this silence. You are the silence. It is not something you are experiencing. It is something you are. You belong here exactly as you are, without accomplishments, without plans, without names. You are simply a presence resting in the cradle of the dark. Everything that once felt solid, the gravity, the floor, the heavy feeling of your body, has dissolved into a light, airy sensation. You are floating on a wave of pure tranquility. The rhythm of your breathing has merged with the pulse of the night, so that you no longer know where you end and the quiet begins. It is the most natural feeling in the world. It is the feeling of coming home after a long, long time. There is no effort in this. There is only the sweet, heavy relief of finally setting down every burden you have ever carried. The void is whispering its final, wordless comfort. Rest now, all is still, all is well, all is yours. Sleep deeper, drift further, dissolve completely. In this final, deepest layer, even the concept of breathing begins to soften and fade. You have arrived at the echo of silence, a place where the noise of the universe has been filtered through the ages until only the purest, most serene vibration remains. Imagine now that you are a single, gentle note played on a deep, resonant instrument, and that note is slowly, gracefully fading into the vast, dark velvet of the night. You are not disappearing, you are expanding. As the note fades, it becomes the space around it. You are becoming the quiet that follows the song. There is a profound sense of completeness here. You have travelled through the mansion, the forest, the stream, and the grotto. You have ascended the lighthouse and drifted through the library. Each of these steps was a layer of clothing you have now gently laid aside. You are standing, or perhaps simply existing, in your most essential, unburdened form. Feel how the space around you is not empty, but filled with the soft, luminous essence of true rest. It is like the air in a room that has been quiet for 100 years, still cool and perfectly clean. There is no memory of struggle, no shadow of doubt. There is only the steady, unmoving bedrock of peace. You are being cradled by the very fabric of the night. It is a soft, deep, and utterly protective presence. It knows the weight you have carried, and it is here to take that weight from you. You feel your limbs becoming heavy, sinking into a surface that is soft as air and deep as the sea. Your mind is like a candle flame that has been gently, tenderly extinguished, leaving only a faint, warm trail of smoke that dissipates into the beautiful dark. There is nothing more to hold. There is nothing more to witness. The journey is no longer a story. It is a sensation. The sensation is no longer a thought. It is a state of being. The state of being is no longer you. It is the universal peace. Let go of the last, tiniest spark of awareness. Sink into the final velvet depth. The silence is welcoming you. The sleep is here. We have travelled past the maps of the mind and the landscapes of the soul. We stand now at the final threshold, the boundary of the nameless. Here there are no words to describe the peace, because words are anchors, and you have long since cut yourself free. Imagine you're looking out into a vast, dark ocean that is not made of water, but of pure, unmanifested potential. It is the colour of the deepest night, a shade so rich and comforting that it feels like a warm embrace. This is the place where all things return to be renewed. You are no longer drifting, for there is no you to move, and no distance to cover. You are simply a part of the darkness, a part of the stillness. The boundaries of your body have dissolved into the cool, gentle currents of the air. The rhythm of your heart has merged with the rhythmic pulse of the planet itself, slow, steady, and infinite. In this nameless space there is a profound feeling of having arrived. Every quest you have ever undertaken, every question you have ever asked, and every struggle you have ever faced has led you to this singular, exquisite point of rest. The cycle is complete. The tension is gone. The story has been told, and now it is time to turn the page into a void of perfect, dreamless clarity. The darkness is not a void to be filled. It is a canvas of total potential. Anything you might need, rest, Healing, clarity, rejuvenation is already contained within this silence. You do not need to ask for it, you simply need to surrender to it. As you exist here in the nameless, the world behind you continues to spin, but you are tucked away in the deepest, safest fold of the night. You are beyond the reach of time. You are beyond the reach of effort. You are in the heart of the absolute. Let your consciousness dim, not like a light going out, but like the moon being gently covered by a passing velvet cloud. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting into the deep, dark, beautiful cradle of the eternal night. Sleep. Everything is still. Everything is enough. Rest. We have arrived. The journey of words has reached the edge of the shore, and now there is nothing left but the tide. Imagine that the very last vestige of your conscious mind, that small, quiet observer who has been walking through these rooms, forests and fields, is now stepping onto a vessel made of pure, soft light. You are not leaving the darkness. You are finally, truly becoming it. The vessel drifts away from the shore of self and moves into the center of the great silence. As you move, you feel the final layers of your identity, the stories you tell yourself, the worries you hold, the name you bear, slowly unraveling like silk ribbons in a warm, dark wind. They are not lost. They are merely being returned to the universe, to be woven into the fabric of the stars for another time, another day. You look back at the shore. It is already fading, becoming a soft, indistinct blur of gentle colours and hushed memories. You feel no regret, no desire to return. There is only an overwhelming sense of enough. You have done enough, you have felt enough, and you have travelled far enough. Now, the light of the vessel begins to soften, pulsing in harmony with the vast, rhythmic breathing of the cosmos. The dark around you is not empty, it is pregnant with the seeds of tomorrow's peace. It is the soil from which your strength will grow, the water that will quench your thirst for stillness, and the home you have been seeking all along. The silence here is so profound, so thick, and so incredibly sweet that it feels like a heavy velvet blanket laid over the entire world. You feel yourself sinking down, 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 not into a depth that scares you, but into a depth that cradles you. Your breath is gone. Your heartbeat is the heartbeat of the night. Your mind is the quiet of the stars. You are no longer a traveller. You are the journey itself, finally at rest. You are the story, finally finished. You are the peace, finally found. Everything is silent. Everything is still. The night is complete. Sleep now. Just sleep. Sleepy History with Benedict is created for relaxation, entertainment, and sleep purposes. The stories shared on this channel are inspired by historical events, daily life, and real periods in history, but they may be simplified, adapted, or narrated in a calming way to enhance the listening experience. This content is not intended to be a precise academic or educational source. While we aim to stay generally accurate, some details may be altered for storytelling flow and relaxation. Please do not rely on this channel as a primary source for historical research or study. By listening, you acknowledge that this content is designed to help you unwind, relax, and fall asleep. Thank you for your understanding and support.